Hello everyone, JRDeal96 here with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Jacksepticeye video, and it's something that really caught my attention because of what Jacksepticeye has started to do now. Lately he's been interviewing people. He first interviewed Jason Momoa a couple months ago, and now he's interviewing Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. Now, the funniest thing about this one in particular, I remember when it actually came out, Chris Hemsworth's name was all capitalized, while Tessa Thompson was just normal. And then he changed her name to all capitalized. So I'm kind of curious on what this interview is about. Like, obviously, it's about Men in Black International, the spin-off of the Men in Black movies, and again, I don't know why they decided to do that. I get it. It's just because they have the rights to the film, and if they don't make a movie within a certain amount of time, they lose the rights. That's why. It's based on the Marvel comic, too. It's somewhat related to Marvel Comics, the Men in Black series. I don't see that, honestly. According to Wikipedia, it says that, so I don't know. I think it's because it's like an off-brand, like somewhat related to Marvel Comics. Not necessarily part of the whole. It's like one of those like spin-off like eras, universes of those little small parts of Marvel, I guess. But anyways, I'm kind of curious on how Jack interacts with Chris and also Tessa Thompson, Thor and Valkyrie, pretty much. So I wonder how they're going to interact with each other. So let's just get right into it. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we? 4, 3, 2, 1.
Recording, great. Good start. Okay, hi guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good morning.
So I do YouTube as my thing. Like, my job is actually doing YouTube videos. So everyone at home is ecstatic that I get to meet you guys.
Oh,
they're
cool.
freaking out. So the hi to everyone at home who gets to see it. The first thing I wanted to ask was, because you guys have worked together on like Marvel stuff and everything, you guys seem to have like great chemistry together. You seem like actually like legitimately good friends, and I think it shows on camera a lot, especially for this kind of movie, because it's just so fun to watch you guys interact with each other. So has that helped you guys, like, when it comes to the acting side of it, it's so close?
Yeah, definitely. We had a great script to work on and to sort of utilise and find that chemistry, but at the end of the day, I think, most of it comes from the relationship we have with the person opposite you, and being able to sort of trust one another and try to advise.
They probably had enough time together to get to know each other,
you know,
like
to
on
say,
screen.
That's awesome, or maybe that's not so good, let's go this way. Just get on with it.
Do you guys have to get to do much improv stuff when you're on set? Like, you get to play around with it a little bit?
We got really lucky because Gary, every scene he would, we do the scene as written, as scripted, and then he'd say he'd do it your way at the end, so we'd always have a chance to improv. And usually it was just off the cuff, but occasionally we would sort of like bounce it.
Didn't Men in Black 3 have like something where they were writing the script literally on set?
Moment during shooting the movie? Any memorable scenes or any days on set that were really fun?
There's a scene where
Careful.
where we're sort of in the office, in IT's office, where actually there's none of
Careful with spoilers.
It's one of my favourite scenes in the movie.
I love that scene.
I'm trying to give away the.
Don't spoil it, you fucking.
We were having fun that one.
It kind of sounds like Marvel for a second.
This scene is not in the movie, I don't think. But we were in Ischia in Italy, and it's supposed to be a really quick moment where Chris is supposed to pay this fish lady. He's supposed to get this like jar to put Connie in from this fish lady, and the woman there was they just got like an Italian woman that sells fish. That was like actually her job. So we like rock up to her little stand, and supposed to have a couple of exchanges, and she would just like talk to us in Italian. She really liked Chris. She would get really excited.
Every time I tried to give her money, she wouldn't let go of my hand.
She started kissing it, and so speaking in Italian, so we'd be trying to play the scene, and his hand would be with her. and the sound people people were trying to get her to stop speaking, and she was so
She just didn't care.
cute. Oh my gosh,
she was just laughing. She kept going.
She was so cute. But it was so fun. We were having just the dreamiest time. We'd like be eating pasta and have a glass of wine at lunch, and
Yeah,
just
so
like
it's
it
great
was like
fun,
this is our
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, because in the movie you guys go to lots of different places. So
Yeah.
did you guys actually get to go out on location for a lot of this
Yeah,
stuff?
we
We
were
did, yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Really?
we went to Marrakesh.
It's a desert.
I wouldn't be
Sahara.
surprised if they actually did go on location.
London places, some wanted.
Because then most times it's all green
and here in
screen.
London. So it was good. That was also the appeal for doing the movie was it was going to have a different feel, different look, and also we get to go on sort of a working holiday type deal and have someone else pay for it, which is always a bonus.
It's always nice.
Thanks, Sony.
Wow. See, I told you, good chemistry. So, because this is like, there's such a franchise for these movies. I'm such a fan of the older ones as well, and it was cool to just see a new one come out. But what do you guys think that this movie does differently to the older ones, and what's it do better?
Oh, I wouldn't say better. I just say different. I think.
Yeah, just
sort of Chris hit
it's
on
just
it.
because they
It's
have
just
to make a
really
movie.
truly international in scope. You've only ever seen MIB
New York.
inside of a very small island that is New York City. So to see it.
I understand
That's
why they
awesome.
wanted to try something
I think
different with
Edgar
it, but
Wright
still,
brings,
it's not the same without
sort
the Will Smith and Tommy Lee
epic sort of
Jones.
action sensibility.
Again, Tommy Lee Jones is almost 90 years
Chemistry
old.
too with, the just having different actors in the film. That immediately informs a different direction and tone. And our attempt obviously was not to remake that and try and although there were days it was like, am I Will Smith or am I?
You're the new genie.
Yes, right. So
women
amazing.
inside of the organization in these
Yeah.
narratives, but there's never been a woman at the forefront. And I think that's
I understand I appreciate the attempt.
So to kind of go back, because I remember watching like Home and Away years ago, and that was the first time I ever saw you on anything, and it was just like seeing you like my entire life as I was growing up, and I used to religiously watch that. Like it's crazy to actually be in the same room and everything now. But if you could go back during those times, because now you get to be like huge leads in huge movies. If you could go back and like say anything to yourselves when you're acting at a younger age.
I tell myself to relax, I tell myself to enjoy it because I found so much of my time early on was about trying to be what I thought I had to be and how I had to
Yeah, once you got Thor,
and sound. And,
that's when he became the
I
biggest
was never
star
quite true
in
to
Hollywood.
myself, I think, in a way, especially.
He became a household name after he started doing Thor.
About am I ever going to work again? And it's just so what, and I enjoyed it at times, but I feel like I had a whole lot of fear, and I'd like to just give that young kid a cuddle and say, don't worry about it, mate. It's going to be alright,
I'm still saying all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry about it, mate. You're gonna be okay.
Don't worry, mate. You'll be fine.
I cuddle probably every.
Yeah, we try. We'll have one up.
Okay,
All
good.
three of us. Keep the camera rolling, Kenny.
Yes, please. I need more of that.
I was.
We all do. Everyone needs to cuddle more.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like asking. The people at home who like watch my stuff and everything, they're always talking about it. So they're always going through school or they're going through work or something. It's always so hard for them. They're always like they look up to people like you guys. And
well, I think it's the idea that like we all still we all ask the same questions on it at any point or level or whatever you want to call it, and still have the same amount of fear and doubt and all of that, but it can be suffocating and debilitating at a certain age, which is often in your teen years. But the older you get, you kind of go, oh yeah, it's all sort of part of it, And then for me, that fear or doubt or whatever I look at it as a motivator now rather than something that smothers me.
So
next week on Dr. Chris and Dr. Tessa show.
You could make an entire just YouTube channel out of this. Just make videos where you give advice to people.
We should.
We should.
It'd be great. So what's next for you guys? What's your next goals and aspirations?
What are you doing there?
Oscars?
I'm currently working on
Academy
the
Awards?
Oh yes.
Which is really fantastic. And then I'm going to make this movie actually with an Irish person.
Ironically enough.
We're going to make a film called Passing Together.
Oh, I love it.
And then
That's one you talked to me about, which I thought I was going to get off in the park.
Sorry.
She did.
I did actually.
Who did it go to?
You
Who
need
did it
to
go
take a
to?
break.
Who did it go to? That's true. I'm not working for a while.
You
I
don't
need to be
want to
home.
work for a minute. I
Three
support
kids.
you in that. But I need to do the same after this.
I got refast.
Wow. How dare.
No, but I've just been working a lot and
Yeah, he's
watched a
been
little
hectic as hell for him. Marvel and a bunch of other
You
stuff.
can have them.
And never mind. Never mind.
You sure? You're adopted.
Wow.
Okay, from me, I'm not saying.
Sounds like the
I
Avengers.
will adopt you, yeah.
What?
He's
I'm
adopted.
going to adopt you. No, he's just trying to wrap this interview up.
This is great. I love this.
Another coffee.
So, last question, just to wrap it up. If you were to sell people on the movie to go watch it, what would be your pitch for the people at home on YouTube?
I'd say this films like this are the reasons I go to the movies, the reason I want to become an actor. The fantasy, the fun, the adventure, and it embodies all of that. And, you know, you can have a cracking time.
Yeah.
Cracking time.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
That's cool. That was really cool that he was able to interview these Chris Hemsworth and
A big
Tessa
family
Thompson.
needs 2 or more.
That was pretty cool that he was able to do that. That is honestly really cool that he was able to interview Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. Because I'm pretty sure that Chris and Tessa, they don't know who the fuck Jacksepticeye is. They don't even know who the hell this guy is. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, they're like, who is this guy again? It's so funny, like, because of, like, how popular they are on YouTube, the platform, they don't, like, not a lot of people would know. Like, there's some, like, a few that would know him. Like, I think Ryan Reynolds obviously knows him. And stuff. Like, there's a few celebs out there that probably know about YouTube and stuff. Excuse me. But that's just a small platform. Like, they're YouTube famous, but not worldly famous. Like Chris Hemsworth or Tessa Thompson or Jason Momoa or Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans or Tom Holland or Keanu Reeves. Jack is kind of not that famous. He is famous. I'm not saying that he's not famous. He is. But he's not on the level of famous and popular as those actors. I don't know if that's a weird comparison because I might sound like an idiot saying that because the people are probably saying, he is famous! I know that. But he's not that famous. He is famous on YouTube, but not famous on the mainstream like Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to say here. I know I sound stupid saying it that way, but I know I'm trying to make comparisons here. But it was kind of cool that he was able to interview these two, the Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson and stuff. But I do know that he also interviewed Jason Momoa back in I think December, when Aquaman came out. And I'm gonna probably have to react to that one too. But I did hear, like, apparently when I was actually watching Gab's stream that Jack was actually on, and after the whole reveal with Cyberpunk 2077 that Keanu Reeves was gonna be in the game, Jack revealed that he was supposed to interview Keanu Reeves during the press junket for John Wick 3. But like a week before it happened, that's when he was told it's not going to happen. But then he got the opportunity to interview Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. So that probably leaves possible, interviews that he could also interview. I would like to see him interview Tom Holland. That's probably the next interview that I would like to see him do. Him interviewing Tom Holland. And also, Chris Pratt. Why not Chris Pratt? There's nothing wrong with Chris Pratt, right? He likes Chris Pratt a lot. So, him, Tom Holland. And that's really it that I know. But overall, I think that's who he should be interviewing next, is them. In my honest opinion, that's who he should be interviewing. Now I gotta go all the way back to when he interviewed Jason Momoa. Fuck. Take your eyes off the skull. Here's the Quit the Game to Win video. Still here, I see. Very good. I found it. Okay, this happened. It happened 6 months ago, the Jason Momoa interview, because that was around the time when Aquaman came out and stuff. So, no surprise there. But it was nice to watch that one that we just saw. But I would like to see, because of the fact that Spider-Man Far From Home is actually coming out within like a week, the next week or two, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be very interesting if Jack gets the chance to interview Tom Holland. Now, apparently he kind of teased the idea of that he might be interviewing somebody at the end of the month, which is the emoji, with the eyes emoji. He did say something that there's something big happening at the end of the month. Now, we all take this with a grain of salt, and we all start to go crazy with the speculation that it could be ego-related, or it could be something else. It could be him being in a Undertale movie, like that one report apparently that's going around now. That's probably most likely fake. Him being in an Undertale movie. Why does everything have to be put into made into a movie? Just like how, why is every Disney animated movie from the 90s and 80s getting remade into live action versions? It's because the rights to those movies, the rights to that property, that fairy tale, it runs out if they don't make a movie within a certain amount of years. Kind of sounds like how with the Marvel movie rights, because like it happened with Daredevil. They were trying to make a Daredevil movie, but the time window that they have before the rights get reverted back, they were nearing that deadline, and they were trying, and they were like, oh, we're trying to make one, and then they were not really making any. They were just bullshitting, but then it reverted back to Marvel Studios, and they ended up making a Netflix series out of them. And then they canceled it after 3 seasons and stuff. So, seriously, I don't know what the point of it is. I honestly don't see what the point is in making more live-action movies of your favorite animated films. Like, what's the point of making a live-action Lion King? What's the point of making a live-action Jungle Book? A live-action Aladdin? A live-action Mulan? A live-action Little Mermaid? A live-action Lilo and Stitch? A live-action Cruella? A live-action one? You got the 101 Dalmatians live-action movies from the 90s! What the fuck is the point of making another fucking thing related to it? They're making a spin-off. Like, stop! Just stop! You have enough! You have enough of it! You don't need to make another! You got the fucking movies from 96 and 2000 of the 101 Dalmatians. You don't need to make another. You're fine with the 101 Dalmatians. But the Lilo and Stitch one, I'm like, well, that's gonna be interesting. That was made in 2002, 2001. I don't see that fly. That's probably not gonna do well. Just like how Stitch doesn't do well in Disney World with his great ride. Oh, God, I don't know what the deal is with that, but still. I honestly don't know. I don't know why they make these live-action movies. It's just because there's a bunch of green that we use every day, which is called money. And they just see money in these live-action movies. It started, I think, with Maleficent. I think it was Maleficent that started this huge renaissance of live-action Disney movies. After that, then they made Cinderella. Then I think it started Alice in Wonderland. I think because of the success of the Alice in Wonderland live-action movie that Tim Burton made, because of that gave Disney the idea of, hey, why don't we make our own live-action movies? Let's make our live-action versions. I'll do anything for money. I swear to God. It came out the same year as Toy Story 3. The Alice in Wonderland live action movie. I saw it. Wasn't really that good to me. Like, it just felt weird as hell seeing it in live action. Because you're so used to, and you've gotten used to the animated version, and honestly, you don't want to you honestly don't prefer the live action. Like, I understand why, because of the advanced technology we have, but it's fine the way it is. Like, the Aladdin one, I think, was more of a prime example of everything doesn't need to be live action. Like, seriously, not everything needs to be live action. Like The Jungle Book, Maleficent, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, I don't understand. Like, The Lion King, I don't understand. The only thing that's good about it so far is the fact that they got freaking James Earl Jones to come back as freaking Mufasa. Just for him to die within the first 50 minutes of the movie. That's probably what's going to end up happening. But still, what's the point of making live action versions of these films? You have the animated movies. You cherish the animated movies. Why do you gotta make live action versions? So that the animated movies are just... You're just pretty much saying that the animated movies are just worthless. They're pointless. That's pretty much what you're saying. That's pretty much what you're trying to say when you make the live action version. That the animated movie was just a fucking pointless thing to make. Let's try a live action version. That's just a big disrespectful thing to the people who made those animated versions. It's kind of disrespectful. It's just really disrespectful, in my honest opinion. It kind of feels like a big slap in the face to the people who created the animated movie. It's saying, no, live action seems better. I don't know, man. I don't know why we ended up going on a rant about Disney and live action movies. But seriously, I gotta stop. I am becoming PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye. We try to do one thing, we try to do something like YouTube Feud, and then we just go off and just watch other things. We just talk about other things. Anyways, I'm just gonna stop here. That's enough for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure also to check out my Instagram because of me, Colette's a Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also do reenactments and cosplays on there, so go check it out. Be sure also to check out my Tumblrs in the description as well. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!